Back to the daily grind, and shout out to the full-time patrons. Make sure to hit subscribe if you're new and hit thumbs up if you're not a baby back bagel biting bitch boy, cause you know what time it is. It's full time.
MMA.
And it's your boy Taco Bell Wani, and I got a question. What the hell is Daniel Cormier talking about here? And I'm asking that because to me it seems like Daniel Cormier's got the game fucked up. To me, it seems like Daniel Cormier has been convinced by the fans that he's not one of the greatest fucking pound-for-pound fighters on the planet. And if any of y'all think that, including Daniel Cormier, you're wrong. Daniel Cormier might be the #1 pound-for-pound fighter on the planet of all time, and I'm going to break it down after we get into this video. But I'm just saying, he's the current light heavy. We're going to get into all that after this, but let's get into what Daniel Cormier had to say. He confirmed he's down for one more Jon Jones fight before retiring. Now, what he had to say is professional as always, man. And if Daniel Cormier wanted, he could come out and say, listen, I would smoke Jon Jones in the third fight. I would have smoked him in the second fight if he wasn't on, you know, the juice. I mean, I'm just saying, you know, this is what Daniel Cormier could be saying. This is what me, as a big fan of Daniel Cormier, would like to hear. Because I picked Daniel Cormier to pick the second fight, and honestly, if there was a third fight, I would pick the exact same result. You know why? Because when I picked Daniel Cormier to win the second fight, I was going off the assumption, hey, this might be the first time we've seen a clean Jon Jones for all we know. He failed one drug test, USADA's around, but he fought OSP, didn't look amazing. So hey, this could be a clean Jon Jones for all we know. He could have been clean the whole time, I don't know. But this could be the first time we see a clean Jon Jones, and Daniel Cormier has been proven. So I thought DC was going to win the second fight. Jon Jones knocked him out, and I was like, oh wow, Jon Jones, yo, he proved it. He's the man. He don't have to prove any, you know, he proved his innocence even in that fight. Like, yo, he's the GOAT, no questions about it. Jon Jones was respectful even. Fuck it, we all love Jon Jones. Back on the Jones wagon. My prediction was wrong. And then he pops, and I'm like, oh, did he really need that to beat DC? Now I'm still back at where I was. So if the third fight came around, yeah, I'd probably pick Daniel Cormier to get the W, because I would go under the assumption this might be a clean Jon Jones. Who knows? But with that being said, let's get into what Jon Jones had to say. I'm sorry, what Daniel Cormier had to say about the third Jon Jones fight. He said, I don't know. I don't know what he was doing. The only thing I can base an opinion on is from what we came out publicly. I don't think for a second that Jon Jones needed any type of enhancements to compete. Unless you're talking about in the bed when he had the dick pills. Okay, he didn't say that part. No, jokes aside, he said, I don't think for a second that Jon Jones needed any type of enhancements to compete. I think he's an ultra talented, he's a fantastic fighter, he's very smart in there, and I think he can do whatever he wants, but he chose to do it the wrong way. And I can't change that. All I can really worry about is what I can take care of. If a chance to compete against him arises, then I'll take it and hopefully finally vindicate those losses. That's the only guy that's ever beat me, and if I can get those back, it'll be in business. Excuse me, he said I'll be in business. But either way, man, to me, what I get from that, it sounds like, you know, Daniel Cormier wants that win back, even, you know, because a lot of people say he doesn't deserve the fight and stuff like that. And necessarily, if you want to say Jon Jones failed the drug test, Daniel Cormier don't got nothing to prove. And this is where I'm going to get into my fucking spiel. You know, Daniel Cormier is one of the greatest pound-for-pound fighters of all time. This is fucking how I look at it. Undefeated at heavyweight, 12-0, 13-0 at heavyweight. I believe he beat Frank Mir, Roy Nelson, maybe Andre Arlovski. He beat some names at fucking heavyweight back in the day. Won the Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix, stuff like that. Then, didn't want to fight his teammate Cain Velasquez, didn't want to compete with his teammate for the heavyweight UFC title. I'm dropping down to light heavyweight. Fuck it. You know what he did? Beat everybody at light heavyweight not named Jon Jones. Every single person. Alexander Gustafsson, Rumble Johnson twice. Everybody. He cleared out the light heavyweight division. Nobody's messing with DC at light heavyweight. You got Gustafsson that wants a rematch, but he's cleared it out. Anybody but Jon Jones, who come to find out, was on dick pills and whatever for the second test, all type of shit for the second test, who knows all the names. But Jon Jones fell, and take into consideration, he failed the first test, so you know after you fail one drug test, you got to be super careful with what you put into your body. So for you to fail a second test either shows negligence or shows that you might have felt like you needed to compete. So in my opinion, Daniel Cormier could come out and say, listen, if I fight Jon Jones when he's clean, I'm tearing his ass out the frame. I'm tearing him up. He felt like he needed to cheat to beat me because he knows I'm the fucking GOAT. If DC wanted to get on this Conor McGregor shit, he could say some stuff like that. But you know what? DC's a fucking professional. He's one of the best commentators. He doesn't just do the cage side commentary. He does Fox work. He's a father, a husband. He's hella funny. A great teammate. Rides for his teammates. Khabib. What more do you want from me? All I'm saying is DC is the fucking GOAT. Great personality. How do you not root for this guy, man? I guess people didn't like him at one point because it was like Team John Jones versus Team DC and everybody was Team John Jones. But I think when you take everything into consideration, the undefeated at heavyweight, the undefeated at light heavyweight, because the only person he lost to was somebody that is still suspended for popping. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the first fight wasn't overturned. The first fight wasn't overturned. So yeah, technically DC has a loss on his resume. But I think it's completely reasonable and fair to assume John Jones could have been dirty during that fight. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I think I've said enough on this video. All I'm saying is DC, y'all better start putting some fucking respect on his name, including the UFC, bro. GSP just out of nowhere jumped DC in the pound for pound rankings. I mean, you got Conor McGregor above Daniel Cormier. Daniel Cormier has cleared out 2 divisions. Like, he was clearing out the heavyweight division, about to fight for the title. Sorry, don't want to fight my teammate. Goes down, clears out the light heavy. Who the fuck clears out 2 divisions, becomes champion? Now he's going back up to fight for that title beside Daniel Cormier. Demetrius Johnson, who's #1 pound for pound, only fights at 1 division. Yeah, he's doing a lot. He cleared out his division. But we're talking about light heavyweight and heavyweight. The biggest gap between divisions. 40-pound jump. What are we really saying? DC is for sure going to be in the UFC Hall of Fame in the future already, no matter what happens. And if he beats Stipe Miocic, I think he becomes unanimously everybody's #1 pound for pound fighter on the planet, because how the fuck could you not be? Who's better than DC if he is the 2 heaviest weight classes, the baddest man on the planet and the next baddest man on the planet as far as champions are concerned? I rest my case, man. If you hate DC, you'll probably keep hating on DC, but I just don't see how. If you look at resumes, if you look at fucking a fighter's fighter, he fights everybody, he defends his belt. Like, he checks off all the boxes. I can't think of one box Daniel Cormier doesn't check off. He's good at trash talk. He'll respond, John Jones is a bitch. No, that's not his, that was a, you know, funny line that I like. But Daniel Cormier, he's quick-witted with the trash talk. Ain't nobody just gonna run over him at a press conference and him just sit there. He's gonna come right back at you with the best of them. Hey, I'm a big fan of Daniel Cormier. I'm sure you guys can tell by now. All I'm saying is Daniel Cormier has confirmed he's down for 1 more John Jones fight before retirement. Y'all better put some respect on Daniel Cormier's name. I even think coming from, you know, looks like he might even think to himself, like, man, I really need to get that one back. That's just the competitor in him. But I say, you can't really base that off John Jones. We all know John Jones fucked up, you know what I'm saying? He did this to himself. So, yeah, you know, it's just gotta suck to be, man, I need that win back, but I can't. I'm about to retire and this motherfucker's suspended. So I want it back because everybody acts like it. I heard Brendan Schaub say Daniel Cormier can never, like, be the GOAT because he lost to John Jones, bruh. It's like, everybody's lost. Unless Darren Till goes on some crazy record and never loses, or Khabib becomes, everybody takes a L in MMA at some point. With that being said, it is what it is. Let the Full Time Family know what you think in the comments. And actually, everybody takes a L at some point except Daniel Cormier, because nobody's ever fucking beat him except for somebody that could have been on steroids, which isn't a fair playing field. Let's run that back. I want to see DC John Jones 3. Clean John Jones. I'm picking DC. Let's go. And as always, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell right next to it so you're notified every time I upload a video. I'm out.
Da 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 da. It's the motherfucking D-O-double-G.